Welcome back to Aria's Diaries. I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're curled up in bed, on a long drive, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, this is your space. A space for stories. Last time, a first kiss in the dark, a charged car ride home, and a quiet, unsettling observation. You look different. Sent tremors through the world Elena had built. Tonight's story is about what grows in those cracks. About secrets kept in sketchbooks, jealousies that boil over, and the moment you realize the person you've hated might be the only one who truly sees you. So get comfortable, let the story continue. Two weeks passed in a blur of texting, stolen moments, and the sweet, terrifying novelty of having a guy actually like me. Mateo and I were in a full-blown situationship. We couldn't keep our hands off each other. He'd made the football team, and every chance we got, between classes, after practice in empty locker rooms, we'd find each other. "Okay, enough," I whispered one afternoon, pulling away from him in a quiet corner near the gym. "We have to get back. Practice is almost over." He sighed, his forehead resting against mine. "Gosh, I missed you." "You just saw me yesterday, and the day before that. So, I still miss you." He kissed me again, soft and slow, until I finally pushed him away, laughing. Practice that day was tense. Sierra watched me like a hawk, her eyes narrowed, her smile sharp. I didn't know why her focus had intensified, but it made my skin crawl. I turned to see Maya and Liam hugging nearby, looking happy. A small, warm feeling spread in my chest. My friends were finding their joy. Meanwhile, across the field, Jaxon was having a very different day. He'd woken up to ice-cold water being poured on his face. His father, drunk and furious, his fist the next thing to connect. A motivational tool, he called it. Jaxon had fought back and it only made it worse. His father's grip was stronger, his aim crueler. Staring in the bathroom mirror at the blooming bruise on his jaw and the blood on his lip, he debated skipping practice entirely. But he knew the punishment would be worse tomorrow. He was late, rushing out the door, his whole body a live wire of rage. And that's when he saw me, walking up my driveway, backpack slung over one shoulder. I took one look at his busted face and let out a disbelieving laugh. "Did you get into a fight with a bear? Your face is messed up." He just flipped me off, brushing past, not in the mood for my jokes. "Oh, someone's angry," I called after him. "No time for a comeback today, huh?" Something in him snapped. He turned, walked back to me with a purpose that made my breath catch. He didn't stop until his chest was almost touching mine, backing me up against the side of my car. Our bodies were close, too close. Get away from me," I said, panic rising. He grabbed both my wrists in one strong hand, pinning them above my head against the car. He wasn't hurting me, but the restraint was absolute. He looked down at me, his eyes dark, intense, the heat between us sudden and shocking. I could feel his breath, see the pain and fury in his eyes up close. For a second, neither of us moved. Then I yanked a hand free and punched him in the shoulder. He released me, stepping back as if burned. "What the hell is your problem?" I shouted, my voice shaking. "Don't ever touch me like that again!" I grabbed my things from the ground and stormed into my house, slamming the door, my heart hammering against my ribs. A few days later, things with Mateo were good. Easy. He was taking me to a cozy little Italian place tucked away downtown. I was trying to focus on that, on him, and not on the memory of Jackson's body pressing against mine. the look in his eyes. I wore something simple. Denim, a white tee, my hair in 2 French braids, natural makeup. When Mateo picked me up on his motorcycle, he smiled that easy smile. "You look sexy." "What? I look so basic right now." "Nah, you look perfect." We shared a quick kiss, and then we were off, the wind whipping around us. The restaurant was everything he promised. Dim lights, soft music, the smell of garlic and bread. We laughed over appetizers, shared stories. For a while, the world felt soft at the edges. "So, Mr. Varsity Jacket," I teased, "how's football treating you?" "It's good," he said, leaning back. "Honestly, it's something that gets my mind off things." "I'm surprised you survived practice. I thought you were gonna pass out during that last drill." He smirked. "Hey, I saw you watching. Couldn't let you see me looking weak." "Oh, really? You nearly tripped over your own feet 2 minutes in. Trust me, I remember." That was a tactical move. Gotta keep it interesting. Plus, if I fall, maybe you'll come help me up. "Depends. If you're lucky, I might laugh first." "I'll take it. Your laugh is worth a bruised ego." He paid the bill, and we walked out into the night. On the ride home, with my arms around his waist and the city lights blurring past, I felt a surge of happiness. This was what it was supposed to feel like. He pulled up to my house, killed the engine. We got off. Okay, I'll admit it," I said. "That place was actually really good." "Told you, I don't just take girls anywhere. Only the best for you." "So what? You're saying I'm special? You don't already know that?" I looked down, then back up, a shy smile on my face. "Maybe I wanted to hear you say it." "All right then," he said, his voice dropping. "You're special. Like, can't stop thinking about you special." He gently brushed a strand of hair from my face. Our eyes locked. "Can I kiss you?" he whispered. "You're seriously asking?" "Only because I want it to be perfect." I leaned in, closing the distance. This kiss was sweeter than the first, sincere, full of promise. When we pulled apart, I was grinning. "Okay," I breathed. "That was definitely better than the pasta." "Good. So this makes up for our first date. So, second date?" "You keep kissing me like that," I said, "and there might be a third." We laughed, and I headed toward my door. "Text me when you get home." "Only if you promise to miss me a little." "Maybe more than a little." I went inside, floating. I peeked through the curtains and watched him put his helmet on, a smile still on his face as he rode off into the night. What I didn't see was the dark car parked further down the street, its windows tinted. Jaxon was inside watching the whole goodbye. And when Mateo rode off, Jaxon followed him. He trailed Mateo to a gas station. He watched from a distance as Mateo pulled up to the pumps, and then he saw her. A girl with long, dark hair hopped off the back of another bike and walked straight over to Mateo. She said something, laughed, and then she got on the back of his motorcycle. She wrapped her arms around his waist, resting her head against his back. And they sped off together. Jaxon sat in his car, his jaw clenched so tight it ached. He didn't follow them this time. He just drove home, a cold fury settling in his gut. Later that night, I was sitting on my porch texting Mateo a goodnight message, a silly smile on my face. I heard a car pull in. Jaxon got out and walked straight over to me, his expression grim. "Hey, he said. I looked up, surprised. Wow. The guy who only speaks in sarcasm. What's up? I'm not here to mess around. I saw something you're going to want to know. I paused, my smile fading. Okay? He took a breath. I saw Mateo. He wasn't alone. Some other girl was on his bike, and they didn't look like they were just friends. The world tilted. You're sure it was him? I'd bet my life on it. Same jacket, same bike, it was him. I was silent. My phone felt heavy in my hand. Disbelief, then hurt, then a sickening dread washed over me. I can't do this right now, I whispered, standing up. Thanks for telling me, but this is too much. I went inside straight to my room. I curled up on my bed and the tears came. Hot, silent, angry tears. Why? Why couldn't I be enough? Why was I so easy to lie to? I called Mateo. It went straight to voicemail. He never let his phone die. I didn't speak to Mateo all weekend. I ignored his calls and texts. Maya and Chloe knew something was wrong, but I couldn't form the words. Jaxon told me. They'd think he was lying to stir trouble. Part of me hoped he was. Monday. I went to school looking like I'd given up. Messy bun, sweatpants, a hoodie, my armor was gone. At lunch I sat alone at our usual table picking at my food. I saw him approaching before he saw me. Mateo sat down right next to me. Why have you been avoiding me? You've been ignoring my calls. What's going on? I shrugged, not looking at him. Nothing, I've just been busy. Come on, don't do that. Did I do something wrong? I took a shaky breath. I know you're talking to someone else. He looked genuinely confused. What? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. Jaxon saw you with a girl on your bike. His face changed. The guilt was instant, flickering in his eyes before he masked it. It's not even like that. You're really gonna believe what that jerk has to say? Don't try to flip this on him. Who is she? He was quiet for a long moment, his eyes on the table. Then he said it, the one name I didn't expect. Sierra. The word felt like a physical blow. Sierra? My voice was a broken whisper. Tears welled up instantly. He reached to wipe one away, and I slapped his hand. Don't. It didn't mean anything. Don't ever talk to me again. I stood up, my tray clattering. I grabbed my bag and walked out of the cafeteria, out of the school, not caring about detention or missed practice. The tears fell freely now in front of everyone. After school, at football practice, the tension was a live wire. Mateo's eyes kept finding Jaxon, burning with accusation. In the locker room after, Mateo stormed up to him. You got something to say about me? Say it to my face. Jaxon dropped his helmet. It hit the floor with a loud crack. I already did. You just weren't around to hear it this time. A few guys chuckled. Mateo's face darkened. You really had to go run your mouth to her. You don't even know what happened. I know what I saw. Some girl on your bike, holding on to you like she was yours. And that gave you the right to mess up my relationship? You clearly don't give a damn about her anyway. Just then, the locker room door swung open. Sierra walked in. Am I interrupting something? Sierra, what are you doing here? Mateo asked, surprised. You left your jacket. I figured you'd want it. Jaxon laughed, a cold, harsh sound. Of course. You show up right on cue. What's that supposed to mean? Sierra said, looking between them. It's just funny, Jaxon said, stepping toward her. How you always seem to land on someone else's bike right after they break up with you. First me, now him. Who's next? The whole team? The room went still. Teammates shifted uncomfortably. "Excuse me?" Sierra's voice was tight. "Don't act innocent. You're always clinging to whoever gives you attention. First me, now Mateo. Who's next?" Mateo got in his face. "Hey, back off. Don't talk to her like that." "I can talk to her however I want," Jaxon spat, not breaking eye contact with Sierra. "Because at the end of the day, she's the one still blowing up my phone telling me how much she misses me. I don't give a shit about her." Sierra's eyes filled with tears of humiliation. "You're pathetic," Jaxon finished, his voice dripping with contempt. "I hope you know that." He turned, grabbed his bag, and walked out of the locker room, leaving a silent, stunned audience behind. That night, my room was a cave. Lights off, just the glow of my lamp. I was under the covers, clutching a pillow, silent tears slipping down. My phone buzzed again. Mateo, again. A knock on my door. It was Maya and Chloe holding a giant pizza, bags of candy, and face masks. "We come bearing healing and junk food," Maya announced. "You guys didn't have to." "Shut up! Yes, we did." They settled in, not pushing me to talk. They put on soft music, lit a vanilla candle. The normalcy of it was its own kind of medicine. Eventually, Chloe said, "Okay, I waited 15 minutes, but I swear I saw Sierra crying after practice hard." Maya nodded. "Jaxon yelled at her. Said some really messed up stuff in the locker room. The whole team heard." I wiped my eyes. "Good. She can cry." "For the record," Maya said, holding up a slice of pepperoni, "if Mateo ever tries to talk to you again, I'm legally obliged to hit him with this." We laughed. And for the first time all day, my chest felt a little lighter. The next morning in the hallway, I moved through the crowds like a ghost, head down, hoodie up. In biology, I slid into my seat next to Jaxon. For once, he wasn't smirking. He wasn't saying anything, just silence. It was broken when he spoke, his voice low. "You okay?" I looked over, shocked. Jaxon had never asked me that before, not sincerely. "Still breathing," I replied. He gave me a single nod. The classroom door flew open. Sierra stood there, her hair a mess, face blotchy from crying, breathing hard like she'd run. "Wait! I need to talk to you," she begged, desperate. The whole class froze. "In the middle of class? Seriously?" I said, annoyed. "Bitch, I'm not talking to you." Jaxon was out of his seat in a second. He grabbed her by the wrist and pulled her into the hallway. I could hear his low, furious voice, but not the words. He was clearly done with her drama. Later, as I was at my locker, I turned a corner and there he was. Mateo. He rushed toward me. "Listen, we need to talk." "No, we don't. Move." "Give me 5 minutes, I can explain." "Explain what? That you went and hooked up with the #1 girl I hate in the school? How can you explain that? You lied to me, Mateo. After our date. It's like you never even cared." "It wasn't like that. I didn't expect it to go that far," I thought. "You don't lie to someone you care about. You cared about not getting caught." "I still care about you." "No, you don't. You cared about having your cake and eating it too." He looked lost. The hallway felt small. "I can't believe you actually believed everything Jaxon said," he muttered, a last, desperate deflection. I looked him dead in the eye. "This isn't about Jaxon. It's about you and Sierra. After you told me how special I was." My voice broke. "Jacob's had it out for me since I got here. You really think he's not lying? Not you trying to manipulate me and make yourself the victim. We're done." I walked away, his voice calling my name echoing behind me, but I didn't look back. That night I realized something had fundamentally shifted. Mateo was gone. The nice guy facade had shattered, revealing someone just as careless as the rest. Sierra was publicly humiliated, her kingdom of mean girl power crumbling. And Jaxon had asked if I was okay. He'd defended me, not with sweet words, but with a brutal public dismantling of the people who hurt me. He'd seen my humiliation and, for the first time, hadn't laughed. He'd acted. The wall between us wasn't just cracked. Whole sections had been demolished. I didn't know what was on the other side. Attraction? Understanding? Something more dangerous? All I knew was that the boy I was supposed to hate had become the only constant in a world of betrayals, and that was the most terrifying realization of all. If you want to know what happens under the Friday night lights, when a fight on the football field changes all the rules, and when a late night knock on a window leads to a confession that changes everything, you'll have to come back for part 4. Thank you for listening, for being part of this unfolding story with me. This is Aria wishing you a night of quiet clarity. Remember, sometimes the person who stays to watch the wreckage isn't there to laugh. They're there to make sure you get out. Until next time.